Hey folks, welcome to Beefly Bricks, hope you're all well. In today's video, it's an update on the micro Gotham City mock, and it's finally time for the pink roads and the pink plates that I laid as a guide to be replaced with dark grey. I've also added a fair number of new buildings too. And this was all possible because my wee order from LEGO finally arrived, and my dark grey curves and all the little bits and bobs that I needed. A wee bit of sorting and I'm good to go. And it's turned out fantastic. I'm just going to mention that this series of videos has been some of my lowest views, and it's been a very time consuming effort for the build, so inevitably the thought has crossed my mind of maybe not spending too much money and time on it, but you know what, this is such a fun and challenging build experience that I'm enjoying it too much to even consider scaling it back. And yes, the whole point of YouTube is to make interesting videos that people want to watch. However, on Micro Gotham, I think this will find its audience in time, and I personally am having an absolute blast doing it. And yeah, now that I'm coming close to having one of the main islands complete, it's becoming perhaps more of a tangible mock that makes more sense visually now, especially as the roads are done. So I'll do fewer videos of the updates, and when I do them, I'll make sure there's lots of details crammed into the video and there's a lot of progress being made. I'm still sticking to William TR's Gotham transit map, and I'm also going to try to stick to just 6 large base plates, and I'll focus on 3 completed by the end of 2020. This will be Downtown, Midtown and Uptown. This includes the Narrows and Arkham Island 2, which is hopefully what I'll get started by the end of November. A big aim as well is to include Easter eggs or references to as many of the Rogues Gallery as possible throughout the city. One of which is Solomon Grundy, the zombie-like villain who was once named Cyrus Gold, and he came back to life in the mystical Slaughter Swamp, which I thought they did quite well in the Gotham TV show. It was a bit daft at times, but I think they pulled it off. So I featured it here in the water. This olive green mound of foliage and toxic waste is his home, and the downtown area is now fully detailed. I've added a ton of new low density buildings to fill in every available stud on the base. The grey tiles fit really well as the roads, and I still think having them very narrow, just one stud wide, is the best decision, as it keeps everything very compact and claustrophobic, which is how Gotham is meant to be. On the Midtown Island, the 3 bridges are now in place, and there's a sewer pipe on the left which has a wee plant sticking out of it, and that's a reference to Killer Croc. I've also added the reservoir, and this is in keeping with William TR's map, and actually most maps of Gotham have this park, Robinson Park, and the reservoir next to each other. I've also made some adjustments to the central train station, which is the building with the white windows horizontally. Oh, and hey, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, why not do it now and keep yourself up to date with the micro Gotham City. And of course, I really appreciate all the support. The comics and the movies regularly feature these more gothic buildings in amongst the glass and steel of the modern skyscrapers, and I was conscious of not having that many, and it's a wee bit tricky to do at this scale, but I'm really happy with this one. It does have a Palace of Westminster Big Ben look about it though, a wee bit. I've done a few more of these pretty standard slender tower designs. And this is the central train station, which does look a bit mental, I'll give you that, but I've decided to elevate it, and it's also overcome with foliage too. You're not really going to see the bottom of this. This is the Upper East Side, and this is the more wealthy part of the city's real estate. There's white and tan coloured condos and buildings, and I've added a few more trans clear pieces here into the building structures to make them look a bit more realistic. This big gap here is where Wayne Tower will be positioned, and that is going to be a really substantial building and the tallest on this part of the island. Now the roads are in place, it's really just the tiles for the water and a few low density buildings to add, and this area will be finished. I'm really happy with the appearance of all this area here, but the water will have to wait as the trans blue tiles are still on order. A closer look at City Hall, and it is a bit tricky to get that neoclassical style at this scale, but I think I've probably pulled it off. You might have also seen a purple Joker van as well on the road, and you know what, there's such a difference here with the wider road in the middle. It looks great with the bridges crossing it. It's a very Gotham-esque kind of look. A kind of minor reference to Killer Croc, who lives in the sewer, and I will be adding a frog or something to represent him, but for just now I've actually built him a wee sewer. It's got some foliage growing out of it, and this area is looking quite nice now with a few commercial and residential towers in place. The reservoir has pipes connecting it through to the other side as well, and I will add a few trees and other greenery later on. Underneath the train station, the water flows through and there's lots of foliage attached now. Perhaps poison ivy has been here, you never know. Some of the older style buildings here next to the train station. And you can see next to that at the bottom, there's the exit of the underground river and sewer. The railway above on the brown plates will eventually carry onto a bridge here. I've added a few ornate archways around this area to really give it that old Gotham feel, and it's a slight nod again to the elevated railway in Batman Begins. A small church on the shore here, and of course Chinatown. I will be adding a sort of Times Square area here with billboards and signage on a few buildings, and that green and yellow plates there will have to get swapped out as well. So I managed to get a lot done, but I'm quite excited about finishing off this island and having a spooky Arkham Asylum island here as well. That is the plan for the next video. Hey, so if you got this far and you're enjoying the Gotham Micro City, then please let me know, leave a like and a comment. And if you want to see more videos like this, simple mocks, money saving tips and all the good stuff, then subscribe and hit the notifications as well so you don't miss a thing. And hey, why not take a look at some of my other videos here, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.